Good evening. Good Saturday evening to everybody out there. This is are we like the last ones to do our year in review? I think we really are. I know we were the last 2 years.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we do this in May, but everyone insisted we do it in January.
Just to give us a little more time to do the valuable research that we do and providing this content for all the
Deep
people.
insight.
So I see Alan's been sick. Ross, you still haven't answered my damn question I sent on Facebook.
What was your question? I didn't see it.
We asked if you knew. I put somebody's name in there, and we asked if you knew them because they popped up on my Facebook list, and they work for the Cherokee Nation. They do.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Yes, I know Callie. Why'd she pop up on yours?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're trying to figure it because we always, you get that Facebook thing that says people you may know, and then I wonder if that popped up because I'm associated with you, and that's what you do.
Because Jeff is creeping.
Yeah, that's one of my coworkers, so that's weird.
Yeah, see, there we go. All right, Todd, you kick all the relatives and siblings and children out, send them all home, back on their way.
No one's in the room.
Good one. Alan, you recovering? Good holidays, though, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yep, all good. I'm back talking again here. Hopefully, can talk through the show.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll cut your ass out if you can. All right. Andrew, how was the holidays, buddy? Even though I know you didn't get much.
Oh, just living the dream, babe.
You painted a lot of stuff. I know you played a lot of miniature stuff, but I'm sure we're going to talk about that. Let's say hey to everybody out there. Who we got out there? Of course, we got Chuck. But Chuck, were you the first? No, Richard Chipman beat you in tonight. Nor, how you doing, buddy?
Richard wins.
Richard wins. He wins. What do we get? Just nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Buddy. Slav, you didn't answer me. Am I going to see you in June?
Huh?
And if you're hiding in the background out there, say hello so we know who you are, so we know you're watching. Who else we got out there? Robert Delaney, I know you're on there. I just saw you pop up.
Yep.
Richard Kerr, good evening, sir. I'm sure everybody else will pop on as we go. So anyhow, Christopher DeClerc, staying up late again.
Yeah.
Do you ever sleep, Christoph? Toll, good to see you too, buddy. Chris Long, nice to see you. All right. So, Danny, every day. Okay. So, all right, we're going to review 2025. Now, I of course, two of these guys don't know what the questions are, but three of them do, or two of them do.
Going in blind.
So, this is going to be a surprise to some of them. But we got about 8, 9 things we're going to run through. One of the things we're going to do is let's do this first. Let's just do the quick rundown. Todd, we'll start with you since you always seem to be the most organized. Let's do, give us a quick rundown of what you did in 2025.
Okay. Well, let's see. How do I want to sum this up? Okay. So remember, I decided to look at sessions instead of scenarios because, some scenarios will take an hour to play and some scenarios will take weeks to play. So I decided to do sessions, and I called a session originally like 30 minutes when you're actually interacting with the game pieces and game, not reading rules. But I kind of changed that because that usually averaged about 2 hours, which I'm now tracking this year to see if I can get an accurate count. And I may be the most organized for 25, but someone else on here is going to be the most organized in 26. But I had 182 sessions last year.
Damn.
And 70 scenarios played. So if I played a scenario 2 or 3 times, that counted as, an individual playing. So that'd be 3 playings of the same scenario. But pretty much that's, I don't know. I didn't keep track of how many different scenarios. And 25 different opponents. And I did keep track of the number of games. I think it was like 30 some games, 31 different games or something. And I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to tell you that part because that's a question, I believe. So I averaged about 18.96 days of playing games.
When you total all the sessions.
You total all the sessions and minutes and all that stuff.
All right. So with that in mind, for question for the audience, would you all call that slacking that he didn't put enough game time in over the year?
Yes.
All right, Alan, how about you? What'd you do in 2025? Real quick run.
Well, kind of picking up on that theme, looking at what I put down for numbers. I had a total of about 66 plays over the course of the year. Now, I have the large variety through there, and I kind of broke it down a little bit this way between what was solo, what was one-on-one, what was co-op games, what was group games, and definitely the one-on-one has increased from my 2025,
Mm-hmm.
26 one-on-one, and then, co-op games. That's actually pretty big because I grouped my tournament plays in there with another 27 games in there with that. And then my solo actually went down quite a bit. Went down to only like 12. Up there. And then I had one, big kind of group tournament game. I didn't get too many what do you call it, adventures left. I only had one big group game, but it was a good game. I liked it, enjoyed it. So we'll talk about that later. So that's kind of high level.
All right. Ross, how about you? How about a quick blow through what you did in 2025? Played Into the Woods.
Nice. That'll be into this year too. Yeah. So I went back and I started the process because I did not have 2025 goals really, and you're gonna learn I don't really have 2026 ones either, I think. But I did start to go back through 2025 and log my sessions in the same way that Wardrobe did. I got through about March retroactively logging them, and there were like 95 or something.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
And that's mostly because I was counting if I'm sending a log for GBACW or something. Basically, if I'm sitting down for 45 minutes or so within a day, spending some time with a game, well, turns out that's basically every single day, and sometimes multiple games in a day. So I quit. I'm not going to keep track. It's going to be high hundreds of sessions if I do that.
Wait, it was 90 some through March, so 90 in the first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Good
so 360.
That's mostly because I was juggling at least 2 games usually,
Sure.
and playing them basically every day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and when you sit down and play, you don't just put half a turn into a sit down and play. You get at it for about 2 or 3 hours.
Well, no, I think that's what he's saying is they're short.
Right?
Oh.
No, they're shorter. Which is also, we'll talk about this. I'm not sure that's in my memory as I think back on the year. I don't think about it as 500 sessions or whatever it might be. It's like there's some broader patterns of what I played. So I'll tell you that, which is what really sticks in my mind. The first half of the year, I kind of wrapped up an obsession with the U.S. Civil War, the game, the Mark Simonich game. I played a ton of that in 2024, the back half of that year. And then into 2025, I was still playing a lot of U.S. Civil War. So mostly on Vassal. I did play some live, but mostly on Vassal. I played a multiplayer game with 4 of us. So we kind of split the theaters 2 and 2. Very cool. We wrapped that up at the beginning of 2025. And then I was also on the U.S. Civil War Discord, which interestingly is mostly French guys. And they play pretty high level play, getting my ass kicked by them at the beginning of the year over 3 different campaign games. And those I was playing concurrently. So that's how you get multiple sessions a day. So really through maybe February, March, I was playing U.S. Civil War. That same time in the background, I was learning GBACW. I had started learning GBACW at the tail end of 2024, poking at it, got serious about it in those first few months of 2025. Once U.S. Civil War wrapped up, really got into GBACW. So I played most of the 1862 Death Valley scenarios, really learning the game, played them in person, played them on Vassal constantly. Then Stigler's box came out. By Swords and Bayonets came out in April. Played through the entirety of that. Sat in on you guys playing over the summer, a big chunk of that as well. Started Shiloh a little bit later, Into the Woods, a few months back. Have been playing that. And then I also picked up at the tail end of this year, so late November, December, I started playing the Zokbond games, Simonich again, starting with Salerno 43. I hadn't played any of them. I've still only played that one, but I played 2 full campaigns of Salerno 43 and expect to continue with that series, but we'll get to 2026 plans. Also just started in December was GCACW with the Vicksburg box, Thunder on the Mississippi, starting to learn that system. There you go. That's my broad. So I basically played 4 games, but I played a whole bunch of them over the year.
Well, actually, you're a grinder, and I wish I had that. Andrew, do you not? You on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the computer is set up for watching me paint stuff, and I figured you didn't want to do that on today.
We always love to see your face. So.
That makes you a very limited crowd.
How much play did you do this past year?
A fair amount. So I knocked out. I mean, I play a game a week at least with miniatures, and then cram in as much additional as possible. So I mean, full games played, and then there's some days like today I went and played three games. I am not at all organized in what I played. There's next to no record keeping. Because
if you had to take a guess, how many tabletop games do you think you played in 2025? Different sessions of games.
Between Hex Encounter and miniatures games.
Sure.
Well, so again, that's an odd one. If I play multiple miniatures games in one day, is that one? Like if I go and I sit down and I play 3 games with a guy, or 4 games, is that one or 4?
Different battles. It's 4. Well, I mean, it's 4 different. You play what's 4 games, sessions, games, whatever. Yeah. I play a lot. So.
Couple few hundred.
No, I wouldn't doubt that at all.
So, hey, question. It seemed like, I mean, this is totally just kind of going by gut feel. It seemed like you played a little less Hex Encounter this year than you had been in the previous years. Or maybe you just weren't really showing us and talking about it. I don't know.
I didn't record many. I'll be honest with you on that.
Yeah.
Was just eating massive amounts of data on my phone. And so like every couple weeks, I'd have to go back and delete videos constantly.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't play as many long Hex Encounter games. Like I didn't have something out on the dining room table at home for, a couple months.
You had a burst in the beginning of the year on my channel where I posted like 5 or 6 videos.
Okay.
The Horns of the Buffalo.
Yeah.
All those games. So.
Oh gosh, that was this year. Okay. Or last year.
Yeah. It was.
Well, then you guys had, then you had Gettysburg with Most Fearful Sacrifice.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah. And I mean, I've played a lot of little takeout, play in an evening, play in 2 evening.
Yeah. Okay.
Sort of games. So I mean, yeah. Well, I want to say the low hundreds, and if you include miniatures games. But honestly, I played a lot of in-person board games as well. Again, kind of shorter run games. Because a lot of the local guys who, not necessarily the guys I play with every week on Tuesdays, but the guys that I get, cramming in games everywhere else. Like the guy I played with today, I've played probably close to 100 games with him. And like today, the 3 today were
save that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm going to attempt to do the Todd thing this year. Okay. But I haven't done it. I don't do that in the past. I attempted to play or played or even completed some actually, which is what I always get yelled at by Brian. But I went through 47 different games over the year.
Wow. That's good.
And, granted, a few of them went on the table for like long enough for me to blink an eye and then take them down. So, I mean,
that's 47 different titles.
All different titles. Yeah, all different titles. But now some might be from similar systems, though, from the same system, but all different games. And y'all know, and I'm going to say, because we're going to have a question about that, I never replay anything. So,
I was going to say, none of them are multiple plays
of the same exact game. Then.
Yeah.
Maybe a different scenario in the same game, but never replay a scenario, never replay, I don't do that. All right. So that's just a quick, hasty rundown. Let's get into the questions here.
All right.
So, and I Todd and Alan, I actually said this question wrong to you. It wasn't necessarily gaming. It didn't have to be gaming. Okay. But I said favorite gaming moment of 2025.
Okay.
that should have been a little broader. The favorite moment of 2025 that maybe had something to do with gaming, that maybe revolved around your gaming world. So,
not just the game itself, but
yeah. And here,
space.
I'll throw it out. I'll start this one off. The best moment for me for 2025 was Todd and Andrew coming out here.
Aww.
4 or 5 days. That was just. I think now that it should be done every year. They should come out here every year, and we should do that.
So cute.
Because that was just 4 or 5 days of awesomeness. And we didn't do anything really. I know that. I mean, gaming wise, we didn't do that much, but we were on our feet quite a bit, except for one day.
I mean, I played 3 games while I was out there.
You and Todd did, and then
we'll cover that in a minute, Andrew. Don't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I didn't get all the questions like the cool
sure
kids.
didn't. Like, it should have been here, bro.
Yeah, ahead of time, bro.
Nobody told us to do that, bro.
All right.
Oh, I forgot. Andrew does like to show up 4 seconds before.
But by the way, this is what happened the whole time we were with Jeff. We just were all just fighting and yelling at each other the whole time.
Yeah.
And now I was pooping a bunch.
And still had fun. Yeah, we had to talk to Andrew through the bathroom door. So, Cam, Alan, what was your favorite moment of 2025 that revolved around gaming?
Revolved around gaming. You changed the parameters on me. I was gonna say with games themselves, one of the best played Blind Swords games I had this year, and it was just it mirrored history so well that I loved it. It was Into the Whirlpool. Couldn't get enough of the game. We opponent I had. We were kind of like, yeah, we got to play this. Can't wait to play the next turn. Can't wait to play the next turn. I mean, it was back and forth. Everything, it was good, and that I think was truly amazing. I haven't really had that type of a game in a long time, to get something played like that too. And other than that, I mean, other big things was just getting out and getting to a few places historically to match up the games with the.
You did quite a bit of that.
Yeah, I have done that before. It comes in spurts. I was down to Gettysburg a half dozen times. I was down to DC once through the course of the year, and it all lines it all up. Yeah, I saw you, Hexy. That's right. Came and saw you down there.
That was good.
At the same time, that was a busy weekend. So all that's good. I always like to line up the games with the history. That's going to be kind of my theme coming forward with this, in this year. So that's always good. But in terms of games itself, like I said, that one game was just really, really exciting with that. So.
And there's more of those to come, from what I understand. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I already stole your thunder with coming out here, so you have to pick something else, buddy.
Sorry, it's going to be that. So
it was fun.
I'll just narrow it down. It was actually visiting those battlefields with you and Andrew, and then of course having Phil there to be the tour guide. And my favorite experience was you and Andrew know a lot about it, but it was cool watching. I mean, everything was new to me for the most part, but it was fun watching you guys kind of like, oh, I didn't know that or that, when Phil would say something, because obviously Phil's really knows it, that particular spot. So that was pretty cool. And then just seeing Antietam and the Kernstown and Winchester. Winchester was really cool. I wish we would have been able to spend a little bit more time there, because I think that seems like a really cool
there's
place
so
to
many
go. So
there's a lot of different places there to visit in the Winchester.
Yeah. So. And I actually got 4 games played while I was there. I'll mention the ones. I won't mention the one that Andrew and I played together, but I'll let. Actually, I don't know. Did we play 2 together, Andrew, or just 1?
I can think of one off the top of my head. We probably played 2.
No, I think we played 2. I'll let you. So.
You say those 2 then.
All right. Redneck Life.
Hell, I forgot about that. Hell yeah, dude.
Redneck Life. That was with Andrew. And then we left that for Jeff. That was our gift to him for hosting us for 4 days. And you're welcome, Jeff. And then Across 5 Aprils. Didn't you and I play that together, or did I solo
We
that?
did. No, we played Across 5 Aprils together.
Yep. And then Jeff, that was my very first game of GBACW. Was Jeff just put some counters on the Death Valley board, and we just had two
brigades.
Two brigades just go towards each other, and like, oh, I don't know, Todd, take this hill. And we just walked through some stuff. So that was kind of my intro to some of the basics. And then, of course, the next time I got to it was with Stigler's game. And then I soloed. I soloed an ASL SK game there that Jeff had set up and just hadn't played yet, and it just kept sitting there. And I just said, "I'm going to play this." He goes, "Okay, whatever." So that was the night I played that. Jeff, I think, watched something, and Andrew, I think you might have been printing. Andrew was printing stuff.
Oh yeah, he was waylaying my ultra.
So we kind of had we had to have some alone time because we were getting, just make sure we stayed friends. Right, so it was going to do the battlefields. I'm sorry, that was a lot longer than I should.
Yeah, I didn't do it. That was the only time I really did that this year, and that was past year. Ross, your favorite moment, buddy. Come on.
Pretty similar, actually. Unrelated trip that I took also to Gettysburg. This was in April, I think it was.
Ooh.
Nice spring trip to Gettysburg with four other guys. So 5 of us went, and none had ever been. Some had been as kids, but most of us had never been. So we did some battlefield horseback riding, which was
are you serious?
interesting.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
And then beautiful day. So we walked around the battlefield, saw that, but then came back. We rented a historic home basically in town and played Death Valley, put it on the table. We had gone to Kernstown the day before, and then we played the Kernstown scenario while at Gettysburg. Great. The first Kernstown, the race to the wall, the kind of short one that's a good intro. Played that on the table with 2 of us that had played before, so we taught the other guys and kind of split up. You take this division, you take that division. Played that over 2 nights. Awesome. Watched Gettysburg, of course.
Oh, we did that too.
Drank 100 beers, whatever. Went downtown into Gettysburg. That was probably my highlight because that was a gaming trip, but it was also just great to get some guys together and go see battlefields, hang out.
Yeah, I didn't know you'd done that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was a crew that I typically once a year go gaming with, and we made that happen a little bit earlier.
Good deal. I forgot you said you've been. I don't know if I remember you saying you went to Gettysburg last year or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, good deal. Andrew, favorite moment, buddy?
I mean,
skipping through the Civil War battlefield trails with me, right?
I mean, obviously, yes. No, that was a ridiculously good time. You guys have covered that pretty well. The game I was playing while you guys were doing GBACW was like 2 or 3 scenarios of tank on tank.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then honestly though, playing I realize it's stereotypical, but playing Most Beautiful Sacrifice with Toddy was quite delightful. I always enjoy the big long marathon sessions with big old games.
Yep.
You 2 guys in the last 2 years, both of you together, the 2 of you have. Granted, you didn't play 3 days of Gettysburg, but you played Most Fearful Sacrifice, and the year before you played It Never Snows. You played those.
No, we did. We did Day of Days the year before, or was that this year?
No, that was 24, and then 23 was Never Snows.
Day of Days.
Or It Never Snows in September of 2020.
But yes, we have played a big game every year. Yeah, for sure.
And we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
This year, we're going to play the entirety of Trafalgar using flying colors.
Well, it doesn't take long, does it?
Ooh, nice.
Didn't the French just sing?
I'm just kidding. Todd's going to actually murder me if I try and do that.
All right. Most
hates blue maps.
played game. The game the game. I think we decided it could be system or whatever. But the thing like I get for Andrew would probably be easy because you could pick a miniature system, but yeah, so we'll say that the system or the game, if it didn't have a system, that you probably played the most in 2025, Alan.
Yeah, system. Well, hands down, it's going to be Blind Sword system. With what I played here. Looking at this, I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times over the course of the year. It's quickly followed by your favorite Jeff Panzer, coming in there with 4 to 5, depending on how you count one of the games within there. So those were the 2 big ones that I played last year. Wow. Surprising GCACW went down a little bit.
Yeah. I got a feeling there's only one person in this whole room is going to even probably bring that one up if it comes up at all.
It's going to come up this year.
you guys in the audience out there too, as you hear these questions, give us
Oh yeah.
so that we can know. All right, Todd.
Most played series was ASL at 27 sessions, 11 different scenarios. The most played game or scenario specifically is scenario 12. It's All My Fault. Most Fearful Sacrifice. 10 sessions with Andrew.
Oh wow.
Those were live.
Wow.
Many of them were live. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey, we're going to talk about that, buddy, because I'm getting ready to send all my Europa to Noble Knight. I have all of them. Good. Most played, Ross. I got to say, you're Into the Woods has got to be close.
Well, Into the Woods is interesting because hour for hour, it's probably the highest because we're creeping on 30 hours of playing that. But that's been concentrated because we're playing on Sunday mornings basically. So that's been longer 2 to 3 hour sessions. GBACW, definitely the most played system. But like I said, mostly did the Death Valley, the 62 campaign stuff, the early war, Stigler's Box, those 4 battles, Into the Woods, and then here and there poking at some other stuff. So for sure, GBACW and hour for hour probably played the most of Into the Woods, and it's still going.
Yeah, and yeah, that one. I figure you probably got at least another 4 months on that, at least.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm imagining. Yeah,
Andrew,
I'm thinking around 200 hours.
yeah.
Most played game or system, Andrew. Flames of War.
No.
Cold action.
I don't actually know. Because I kind of only started playing Bolt Action a bunch in the last couple months. That's probably up there, though. Board game-wise, most time, if we're going off the most time put into something, it might be Black Swans. Other than that, I actually have played a lot, usually with, very different people of Tank on Tank, as well as a lot of time just solo running through stuff on Great War at Sea.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, this might shock you all for me. And when I initially wrote my games down here, this wasn't the one I had under this, and I had to do a sort of a retake. The actual most, and it would be scenarios because the system is scenarios based pretty much. I had to backtrack to earlier in the year, and it was ASL SK because remember I did the Japanese. And
a ton of it.
I was doing the play by date. I remember I started playing by January through like the first 4. I think I did some of that all the way into June, and then when did we picked up with Ross and Alan? Wasn't it during the summertime?
Summertime, yeah. July, August, yeah.
And then things kind of shifted, and then we started just trying to do the Saturday night thing. And of course, Alan and I have been doing some Thursdays when we can, when he's not on his deathbed. So, but yeah, mine was ASL SK.
That's interesting.
Now, I'm going to throw this one in just for mix. And I'll answer first. And I just sort of keen on mine. What company did you play the most games of? And mine, amazing, is Lock and Load.
Oh, that is interesting.
I did a whole bunch of Lock and Load stuff early in the year.
Let me see.
Alan, yours has got to be GMT.
No, I'm actually going to say Revolution. Blind Swords, and I've got some other stuff with Revolution here too that I played. So I'm going to actually say Revolution Games.
Yeah, mine's easy.
It does, Chuck.
Mine's MMP.
Yeah, MMP.
Through ASL, GCACW, and GTS. So that's
Ross, yours has to be GMT.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty much everything other than
Civil
dabbling in
War.
a little bit of GCACW at the end of the year, everything was GMT.
Yeah. How about you, Andrew? Andrew? No, we're okay. This is you cannot use Hex Encounter for that question.
Oh my gosh!
What company did you play the most miniatures games from?
Oh, Christ on a bike.
I mean, that's like 57 different.
I know. I love it.
Are you fucking kidding me? God, you're a dick. Oh
I mean-
Lord Christ on a motorbike, Jeff. Maybe Warlord, just
Okay.
because I play a lot of different like small companies. Like I enjoy rules from small kind of independent publishers. But what that means is usually it's one rule set from that publisher, and then I got to go, somewhere else for the next thing.
Right.
But I've definitely played Bolt Action and Black Powder and Hail Caesar at least this year in a few different sessions, or in a lot of Bolt Action, several of each of the others. So it's
Right.
probably Warlord, as much as I hate to say that.
Right.
I don't know. They're good. They're good.
They are.
Another question. God darn
I
it.
probably bought more from Revolution than any other publisher though, because I did end up buying
Oh, that's
every Blind Swords game. So
that's
Yeah, there's
Avalanche for
11
me.
of them now. Yeah.
What'd you say, Andrew? That's Avalanche, you said?
I think probably between Panzer Grenadier and then building up Great War at Sea and some
You
second
played a
World War
lot
at
of
Sea.
Bill Molyneux stuff too, though, earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So.
I did, but the issue is it's all from different companies.
Oh, really?
Like,
I didn't.
because
Yeah, okay.
the French and Indian War one is from Lock and Load.
Right.
Horns of the Buffalo he did on his own.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what else I did. Well, the other ones, the couple that were very similar to Bill Molyneux games, the 1812 and Revolutionary War, like full war games, those aren't Bill Molyneux. Those are Historical Gaming Company. French and Indian War and
Yep.
AWI full games. Those are a different company. They're similar and they feel quite similar to Bill Molyneux's games, but they're not.
Right. I want to ask Joey. Joey, that surprises me. GMT. What the hell did you play so much of? The GMT was the most you, because you strike me as an MMP or decision games or something like that.
I wonder if it's East Front series or it'll be interesting to see what he says.
Peter, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you in here tonight. Howdy Oz. Kept sneak in here and I didn't see him.
No.
All right, here we go. I had another question because I'm going to try to. I got to remember to use this question. All right, now here we go. All right, and we were talking about this one earlier, and this is. There's two questions to this, and I already ran it down with Todd and Alan. It's quite possible you could have the same answer for both because the question might sound the same. So let's go. We'll start with this. I'll give you both of them right here. The most fun you had playing a game and your favorite game of the past of 2025. It's possible they could be the same, but the game that you had probably just I can't say last year, but I'll give you an example. The most fun I had was 2 years ago with Todd and I doing that side by side of GCCW, because our comments were just a riot and we were just having a blast the whole time. So the most fun game or most fun you had playing a game, and then maybe your favorite game of 2025. Ross, we'll let you eat, buddy. We'll start with Alan.
Oh, back to me again. All right.
Yeah.
Probably okay. Most fun and the best liked. All right. I think probably the most fun. All right. Where'd you guys go? Hold on. There we go. Most fun was probably when we got back into Army of the Potomac. A few weeks back, and we had Mark Herman on, and he was showing us how to play. And I figured out how to do the combat in there, and the light bulbs just, went on behind me. And it was like, oh, I totally get it now. I got the maneuver before, but now I got the combat, and now I've got it. And that was probably the best. And I think you said it too, Jeff. It was, we had a whole bunch of fun just slamming into each other and having Mark's comments and things like that. So I think that's it's a close tie between that and that Whirlpool scenario I mentioned before, but I already mentioned that in another one. So we'll put that one in there. Best game. You want me to do both of them here?
Yeah, go ahead. Favorite game of the year.
Favorite game of the year. Oh man, this is.
Oh, man, hold on. Let me take a guess, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong or not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, and I'm probably gonna stray from what your answer is gonna be, but I'm gonna say the desert thing you did in Panzer, with the British armor racing through the line.
Yeah. I'd have to say that the Panzer North Africa that's what I was thinking too. Panzer North Africa was really good. They've really done a good job with that to put all of the British, Italian, and German armor out there. They've thrown a lot in the box. I mean, anybody who is, loves tanks, loves the detail, loves the crunch, will love it because it's got everything. It's got everything in there, and I'm going to look forward to do more of that again. It's got campaign games. It's got this, got it. I mean, that's one of those games you could just take and play forever, and probably will. But yeah, that's probably got to be one of my best.
Yeah. There's like 5 of those sitting down at my local hobby game store, of the Panzer of the Desert, the North Africa one sitting there. And of course, all the rest of them are sitting there too. Well, I mean, I have 3 of them, but if I could, I don't know, this is where I think I get it at a loss is I can't, for some reason, those rules, and I know there's a fun game in there, but those rules, I think what threw me off was putting that fire move marker or whatever.
Oh, the markers
every damn thing on the map. That turned me off for that.
Yeah.
All right, Ross.
It is unique.
Go ahead. Most fun.
All right.
And favorite.
Okay. Most fun was kind of a wild card because I've played it a couple times, only at conventions basically, and I played this at a small convention with about 8 guys, which is the right amount. Was a game of Close Action, which is the Age of Sail game.
Hell yeah!
And we had the British versus the French, 2 fleets, 4 ships each. I don't know if anyone's played this game, but there's this communication mechanism in it that's very funny because you can only send a few words to each other at the top of a turn. Then you plot your movement secretly, resolve combat. Then your message from the top of the turn gets delivered at the end of the turn.
Yep.
So everything's time lagged, and it immediately, after about the first turn, hilarious, always. Stuff just immediately goes off the rails. Nobody can communicate. The most fun part I remember was our admiral was out ahead and got attacked and was on fire. His next message, you can only send a few words. I think it was 3 words.
Yeah.
His next message was just, help, on fire. as if we can do anything, like we know, and we can't do anything about it. So that was probably my most fun. It's an absurd game, especially once you get about 2 turns in when the communication breaks down because everything's lagged. Really funny. Best game that I played really though was probably the multiplayer session of the U.S. Civil War. Yep, there's Close Action in the box, and we played on a huge table with some minis. It has cardboard chits, but we played with some little minis out there.
Man, you're just making Andrew all whatever. Anyway, all right.
I am fully torqued.
Yeah, it's a special game. It is very funny.
Tell him you did it in the uniforms. We've lost him. So, all right, moving on. Sorry.
Best game was the multiplayer game of U.S. Civil War I played. That was 4 of us playing it. We played it on Vassal asynchronously over Discord. So we were sending logs on Discord. But the great part was we kind of homebrewed some multiplayer rules where there's a commander-in-chief on each side. They get to assign the action points basically to whoever, whether it's themselves or the subordinate generals. But the best part of the gaming experience was the back channel communication. Like while you're waiting on the Confederates to do their log, I was the Union, my partner and I are like talking out 50 different scenarios that we could play out if we get this draw for initiative or whatever. That was probably the best gaming experience I had. That was an incredible way to play that game.
That's cool. Real quick.
Go ahead.
Just real quick before you move, I just want to show this is a 60 plus player game of Trafalgar using Close Action.
Hey, isn't that
Yes.
what's his name from Stranger Things?
It does look like Mike, yeah. and there's the Demogorgon right next to him. So anyway, I just wanted to show that.
And about the hobby store, they don't really sell many. The GMT is probably what they carry. They Worthington has popped in there recently and dropped a couple of Antietam games off for demo stuff, and they got a couple of block games in there. But I don't think it's decision games. But Andrew and Todd, they will tell you that for miniatures and stuff like that, it's just amazing. I didn't know because I've never been to another one since the
It's
store at Falls Church when I was a kid.
your hobby place, not my hobby place. Your hobby.
Your hobby place, yeah. McMurray,
fantastic.
most fun, buddy.
Most fun.
Yeah, most fun game. Which I know you, and I can picture you playing miniatures. Every one of them is probably a freaking blast for you, but there had to
I
be
do
one.
have a great time. I
I
played.
can answer it if you can't.
Go for it.
Playing miniatures or games with Todd.
Well, yes, that is always delightful. If I had to pick one, I played a game of Canvas Eagles, which I think started as a Hex Encounter game, actually.
Yeah.
I've played miniatures versions of Canvas Eagles a number of times. A lot of guys use 1/72 models on essentially car antennas to account for altitude. I played a game of that in October that was wonderful, delightful. Had a good time. The guys I was playing with were great. I didn't just immediately get shot to pieces, which was cool. That might be the one. Certainly the one off the top of my head right now.
All right. And favorite. What was your favorite game of the year in 2025? I mean, if it was the same, it was the same. But I got a feeling you probably had something else that was. Now, Slav, when we start talking about that, all it makes me do is want to pee.
Okay, it's going to be a series of games,
Okay,
but it's
that's
all
fine.
the same game. So we at this, maybe springtime, a guy and I on Tuesday nights were playing essentially the same. It's something Todd likes to do that I kind of took inspiration from. We played the same game using 3 or 4 different Civil War rule sets.
I didn't know you did that. That's cool.
Did I miss this?
Yeah, I didn't know you did that. That's cool.
Yeah, we played Rebels and Patriots, Live Free or Die, Black Powder, and Fire and Fury, all with the same scenario, essentially on the same table, just to look at them and say, okay, which one of these do we actually think we want to play, going forwards. That was quite fun.
Yeah. What battle?
It was one that we just came up with, so that essentially it was one of those, okay, we don't want to pull a scenario from one system because then obviously it's going to play better in that system.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea.
So we just kind of came up with something that then had 2 almost identical forces. They were slightly different, and then we played essentially on the same table. I would imagine you can probably find them, Todd, if you go back and look at Kevin's posts. But
okay. What was the best one and least favorite of those systems?
I really wanted Rebels and Patriots to be my favorite. I'll be really honest with you, because so many of Dan Mercy's games are great, but that's quite plainly someone else's take on Dan Mercy's system. So there's holes in the rules for stuff, which is kind of disappointing. We did have a great time playing Black Powder. That was really good. Obviously, Fire and Fury. Each of those other 3 have their own very distinct merits.
Sure.
Depending on what you're looking for, who you're playing with, how long you've got. I don't know which one was my favorite.
And you said you played 4. How long did it? I mean, was one system took a really long time to play, and another one was really quick?
I bet not.
Not necessarily. We had about 3 hours for each game. It was played on successive Tuesday nights.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was Dave Becker and I.
We needed footage of that stuff. That would have been a blast. I would have been.
It was in a game store. You wouldn't be able to hear anything. That's
Yeah,
always the
pretty loud in
downfall
there.
of trying to record things at conventions and game stores, is that you don't get any audio.
Punched, how you doing? Glad you popped over. All right, Todd. Biggest fun and favorite.
Fun was finishing a 3-year D&D campaign with that. It was a bucket list thing for my friend to run.
Nerd.
And
Sorry, Toddy.
I'm changing my favorite game here. Just a minute. Give me a second.
Yeah. whatever I didn't play with McMurray.
Playing that ASL game with Ross. No, sorry, Ross didn't make the cut. No, anyway, it was a big deal. That's a huge deal. 3 years, crew together, went through,
And they are very nice people.
And Jay did amazing, like he does, and that was pretty cool. It was 105 sessions.
He is a wonderful man.
So, favorite was doing a Most Fearful Sacrifice with McMurray, because we did it after we were at Gettysburg. We pulled out that. I was looking at that atlas that we bought there.
It was so fucking cool, man.
Pulling that out, doing it. McMurray and I doing the stupid stuff that we always do, because we kind of play those. Wait, did we play opposed or we played? We played.
You co-opted.
We kind of co-opted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We kind of alternated turns. One guy would pull the cards for a turn, and then the other guy would do the actions.
We did our typical dumb stuff. We'd like leave whole
dude.
sides open, but
we are so fucking bad at this.
You guys want to watch an interesting Gettysburg play? Go watch the videos on Todd's channel, Wardrobe Plays World War II. Go watch that. If you are a Gettysburg aficionado, be prepared.
Get your bag out from the airplane and
no. It's not. We played a war game. We weren't trying to reenact the battle,
and it was amazing.
That pisses me off when people try to. Well, it didn't have the same response. Well, yeah. Both of us are significantly dumber than both George Gordon Meade and Robert E. Lee. Fuck do you expect?
It was a unique play. I'm going to reverse my order.
All right.
My favorite played would be, and I'm actually still doing one on Vassal, but my favorite play of the year was Fallblow. I'm really thoroughly enjoying that.
Yeah, you like that a lot.
Oh, I goofed up.
Most fun, I got to go with Alan. Once the eyeballs were opened up on the Rebel Fury Army of the Potomac, that has just been a blast, to play that system. And this is going to lead into the next question. I'm going to start it because it's going to be the same answer. The most surprising game of the year to each one of us, and mine is this Army of the Potomac Rebel Fury. It was a game that, I loved the title on the box for the first one. Didn't buy it because I watched some people play it and I was like, no, this doesn't look right to me. And I know, Alan, I know you kind of struggled with it initially. And then once we drug Mark into this and he got us going in the right direction, gave us the right explanation, that freaking game, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, we were going to play Thursday night. We didn't get to because, like I say, Alan was on his deathbed. But this game is a freaking riot. And if you don't think by looking at it, because there's not 5,000 counters on the board, this thing will wear your brain out, and it is a blast, and it's easy to play. So, yeah, my most surprising game was this Army Potomac Rebel Fury. Alan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and if anybody hasn't seen what we've played, we'll probably play this week. So, you can check it out. It's going to get fun. I've been looking at it. It's going to get really fun.
All right, Todd. I know I just popped this one on you. What would you say was the most surprising game that you played that, man, maybe, hey, didn't really expect much, didn't have much high hopes out of it?
Well, real quick, I do appreciate people on the chat putting their answers to these questions. It's been fun getting them, and I'll keep posting them when you put them up. So keep answering. Well, I'm gonna think this game right here was my most surprising game.
Oh,
2001, 2003, whatever it came out. Nice clip art artwork there. Sorry, Pacific Rim. But amazing game, kind of the Victory in the West system. Nathan Kilgore, and he's done others. So much so that it impacted my 2026 goals. Anyway, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I just really was like, what the heck? And it's kind of led me down some rabbit holes. So
cool. All right, Ross, anything surprising? Game you played that was surprising?
Maybe the gaming experience that surprised me that I enjoyed as much was at that same convention where we played Close Action. We played U-Boat, which is this cooperative game that also has the...
Is that the phone app game?
Yeah, it's also got an app associated with it. None of that really is my thing. Phone app companion games or co-op games or, frankly, U-Boats. But I was the captain. You're like throwing commands to people, and you got this time crunch of trying to, the engine room guy has to be over here doing his thing. The gunner has to be doing this stuff. That turned out to be pretty amazing, actually. Once we got into it, just drenched in sweat, trying to beat the clock, trying to whatever the hell our mission was, just trying to make it through, find whatever American ship we're looking for. That was a great time.
I always ask myself too that because there's a lot of games that like I got one sitting right now, the Brief Border Wars, that I'm not interested, probably won't play it. And that and then when you hear stories like this, I think to myself, man, am I missing something if I don't get that thing out and play it? I might be missing something that's really, really fun.
Could be great. Real quick, I was on the Cardboard Campaigns podcast, kind of doing a similar thing as this, but the many of those guys were with Ross, and that U-boat one was many of their favorite experience in 2025. So it must have been really good because a lot of people were saying.
I mean, it depends on the crowd. Those are all good guys. Hector, Patrick, all those guys that played. That helps, of course, but the game itself facilitated a really fun experience, super memorable. And it surprised me that all of that overcame my lack of interest in particularly having the phone app stuff, which I just find that's not for me, but it worked really well. It was really cool. Someone else ran the phone app, which was good.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Andrew, most surprising game.
As he walks
Out
away.
of the room.
Are you shitting me?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
What a
Quinn.
dick. I hope Jeff walks his ass all the way to Russia and back with Napoleon. On the miniature side, probably... Actually, I'm going to be really honest with you. It was probably Fire and Fury on the miniature side.
Oh.
Because the last couple times I played Fire and Fury, it was not the greatest. Not through any fault of the rule system. But as per local tradition, guys had cut up and bastardized the rules. And I was playing with excessively cranky old people. But then playing it again this year, I realized, wait, this game's really, really fun. I need to go back and do this. And it's slightly more involved than what some people are wanting to do. Just in an evening with miniatures. But that's okay. It was very fun. It's always very fun. In terms of Hex and Counter,
Burning Banners.
What's up?
Burning Banners.
I was trying to think of if that was this year, but yes, that would probably be my biggest
I
surprise.
want that game. I think I really want it.
I am not a fantasy guy, like at all. But yeah, shut up, assholes. I'm somebody's fantasy.
Oh my god!
But that was quite a delightful game to play. I had a good time playing it. Again, it helps that I had, I was playing it with people that are fun to play games with. But actually, that's a good point. It might have been Burning Banners.
Okay, great. So the next two questions I think are going to be fun, and I expect everybody in chat to answer both of these next questions. But before we get to those next two questions, there was one more amazing moment. It was the greatest moment of everybody's 2025. I know it was. And that was Hexy winning his third club championship at the golf course this year, beating all the youngsters. Love it. Thank you all for send money.
Yay.
All right. Yeah, no. But
There's
gonna
our
talk
entire
games,
listenership
Bob.
falling asleep.
It's coming.
There you go.
All right. Here we go.
Numbers going down.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my caddy that I don't have.
I thought Todd, your daddy.
This could be a two-part question, but I don't want it to be two-part, so we're going to go with phase one. A game you just didn't like. A game you just didn't like. You played it. You just didn't like it in 2025. And Andrew, we're going to let you start, buddy.
Let's see, a game I played and just didn't like. Does it have to be a game that I put on or was like trying to play solo, or can it be okay, Pulp Valley. It's a miniatures game, just
That's interesting.
not my thing. It's got really kind of dumb mechanics that I don't like.
Right. Okay. Ross, something you just I'm interested to hear this one.
I'm trying to look through my list of kind of one-offs that I played if I didn't like any of them, because I pretty much liked everything I played because I didn't play that much.
Did you sell ASL after playing it with me? You're like, whoa, that is not worth it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Oh,
God,
okay.
I'm going to be like that guy.
Uh-oh.
Even the kind of little one-off things I just played here and there, kind of Euro games and other stuff. I didn't have anything I had a bad experience or didn't like that I'm seeing. So not very exciting answer, but I don't.
That's yeah. Well, well,
I didn't play 47 things, so I don't know. It's hard to. It's a smaller
Right, yeah.
list to pick from.
Well, wait till we get to part 2 of that question. So,
Yeah, all right.
it'd be even funnier. All right, Todd, you just did enjoy it.
I would say so. Typical Todd. I had bought East Front, West Front, and Euro Front because I wanted a game I could play the whole thing. Started playing East Front. I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. I don't believe in buying one game and then deciding to buy the whole thing. I decided to buy the whole game and then decide to sell it to Noble Knight for $3. So
Or in a year or so, you get it again.
yeah, I'll get it again.
Okay.
Anyway, it's cool. I can see why it could be fun. I know some people that's like some of their favorite game. I just didn't enjoy it. So not a big deal.
I'm not seeing enough answers in chat. Come on, a game that you played. Maybe you played it to complete. Maybe you didn't. Just didn't get you. Just didn't enjoy it. Alan?
Oh,
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
sorry, I got on the board game side. I tried putting Waterloo, or Avalon Hill Waterloo on the table again. I just don't give a shit about Napoleonics.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, you
Well,
got
I
the
do-
things.
I do
Yeah.
have one, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, McMurray. Continue.
No, I was just like I got the thing set up, and it's like, dude, I could not care less.
All right. Go ahead, Bryce.
Um,
On your brain, what was it?
I really like PAX Pamir, the Cole Worley game, and I've played many hundreds of games of PAX Pamir. I did try PAX Renaissance, the Phil Eklund game, and bounced off of it hard. I really wanted to like it. It's more complex than PAX Pamir, which I thought would be a selling point. In fact, like a lot of Phil's games, I cannot wrap my mind around how to even approach it or conceive of it as the turns are moving through. So that is a game that I bought the hard copy of it. I sold it to Noble Knight recently. Tried playing it on Board Game Arena multiple times with friends that know how to play and everything. Could never get into it. That would be my one game that it was just not for me. PAX Renaissance, which is war game adjacent. Let's put it that way. It's not a Hex Encounter, obviously, but it's a PAX game.
Okay. David, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope you're doing well, brother.
Real quick, David, you missed that Lock and Load was one of Hexy's most played companies of the year.
Yeah, Tank on Tank was one of the most played games. That game's fucking awesome. You guys should put out more expansions for it.
Okay.
All right, Alan.
Sorry.
Something you just didn't do.
Did like that. Yeah, this was a pretty easy one for me, and a surprising one for me too. It was actually Death of an Army. It's
the Battle of Ypres. Is that the one?
Yeah, Battle of Ypres,
Okay.
first Battle of Ypres. Because it was really surprising because Revolution puts out quality stuff. All the time with stuff, and actually, the counters, everything looks good and stuff like that. We found a lot of holes in it. It's a different way of looking at it in terms of the sequence of play and things like that there too. And I think just needs a whole lot of clarifications and cleanup and stuff like that, because I think there's a game there. And then maybe I'm not playing it right, maybe I'm not doing it right. I'll always say that because, as I said, with Army of Potomac, Rebel Fury, light bulb goes on. But that one, it just too innovative. I couldn't get my brain around it to figure out what's the best way to do that.
Oh, Mark's here too.
Okay. Let's see.
Also, I love you,
Lord.
Lord.
Out there, but I would have to say the one would have been fairly recent. It just didn't do it for me. It had to be that Wave of Terror, that Battle of the Bulge game. It did not. And I can't say why. I mean, I think to me the game's just broken as hell. But I can't put my finger on what it is. I just did get nothing out of that. I mean, it's not going away or anything, but I did not get it, man. I know. Here comes the fun question. And I'm waiting to see if anybody hesitates on this because they don't want to upset the status quo, the balance of the world. Where they want to flip the X and Y axes and stuff. A game that you would just, after you open the box, after you set it up, maybe after you attempted to play it, you probably were just better off taking it and throwing it in the trash can.
Trash can game.
Trash can game. Andrew, trash can game.
Or should we phrase it the game that you would blow up in was it
McMurray's driveway.
McMurray's driveway? Yeah.
I don't
That's
think we,
that's an easy
we did
one.
one this year, did we? That was 20.
I don't think we did. I don't like necessarily doing that, but we had to let Midwar Sicily know that Brian still got hitters out here, so we're just gonna keep riding along with Midwar. I can't throw shit away. If anything, I'll give it away to people, and then it's their problem.
We can't claim Midwar Sicily anymore. That's done.
Well, it already happened. That was my answer. I don't know. I didn't play any. Like again, at some point in time, somebody's gonna want to play a Napoleonic Hex and counter game with me, and I'm sure that playing with somebody, I'll be fine with Waterloo. So it's not something I'm looking to throw away. It's not. I'm sure it's a good game. I just don't care.
Yeah, it's odd because it's from that branch of Avalon Hill, those games that you just really, really love.
I know. And looking at the rules, it should be like a rule set that I enjoy. I just don't care, man. It's
Okay.
maybe it's me. Maybe I just have pulled it out at the wrong time. But I'm not gonna throw it away by any means now.
All right. Alvin. To the dump, buddy. It's going to the dump. You would personally drive to the dump yourself, pay the weight fee, and throw that thing out in the landfill yourself.
Well, I can't say there's stuff that I'd want to just chuck. Kind of like what McMurray said. I mean, I'm one that would save it and figure out a way to rehash it and reuse it. But I'm probably going to steal your thunder on this by saying, Flanks of Gettysburg.
Okay.
And what I would chuck out of there is just the rule set, which I plan on doing. I'll talk about that later. Map is great.
Good point.
Map is great. Rick Barber map, tactical map. That's what I'm looking for. Counters, I think it can be resurrected into something with a good rule set. So
Right.
It's basically chucking the rule set and keeping the rest of it and
Okay.
doing something with that. And I'll talk more about that later.
Slav. Hold on, Slav. Oh, stop.
Sorry.
it, Tom.
Yeah,
Stop.
sorry about
Stop it.
I'm
What's
not doing anything.
Bullshit. I claim bullshit, but I know you like VAR.
No. I think he's saying that's what McMurray needs to play.
Okay. I take all that back. I take it all back. All right, so I'll just go ahead and do mine because mine's the same way. I will drive up to where Camp lives and we'll throw 2 boxes of Flanks of Gettysburg. I agree with you 100%. There's a game there. Somebody just needs to make one out of it.
If you want to know how to blow games up, just holler.
Yeah, we'll do a how-to video.
It works way better than I thought it was going to be.
Ross, certainly there's one.
I'm telling you, I don't really have any trash can games. I don't, I'm inclined if something doesn't, if I set it up and I mess around with it and it's like, nah, I don't know. I'm inclined to be like, all right, let me hold off, find the same theme, same battle, same whatever it might be that I do like, and then go back and figure out what's different in that one that didn't hit for me and study it, I guess, in that way. Assume the best, that there's something there that's worthwhile to someone. Assume I'm missing it, and then come back to it at a different time.
All right. Well, let me pose this question to you then, since that's out of the loop. On your shelf behind you, do you have a box sitting there that you're probably less apt to table in any time in the near future, simply because you're not thoroughly interested yet in that? Is there one back there?
I mean, I have every OCS game that's come out in the past 10 years or whatever sitting there in Shrink. I'm interested in them. I have played a little bit on Vassal and not hooked on it, despite the complexity and the ability to spend forever playing those. I, in fact, found that the Simonich Zokbon games kind of scratched the itch for me, the level I was looking for generally kind of operational play for World War II stuff. Those aren't going to be hitting the table anytime soon. I'm going to continue to buy them while they're in print and hold them.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
and I expect to come to that at some point, but I did not. I started playing with the Sicily 2, the kind of intro that someone put together the walkthrough and all of that of a half turn, and it didn't sing to me. So I'm that's one I've put away. But it may be that I'm playing lots of other complex stuff that I can't kind of mentally juggle that one right now.
Yeah,
Right.
I think just real quick, I think what someone, I don't know who said that. I don't know, Frost, you just said this, but I mean, Chris kind of made this point. He hasn't really enjoyed U.S. Civil War, but he goes, maybe if you could sit down with somebody, like it's almost like ASL. I think OCS might be similar. If you sit down with somebody, you can kind of work through some of that. Like GTS was that way for me. Not until I sat with a campaign game that we played. I was like, just repetition. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, could be that.
Yeah, and if you can get someone who's excited about the game, like I would love to play U.S. Civil War, and if you come away not into it after I am hyping it up while we're playing, then it's definitely not for you.
And that's the same thing with that Civil War, the U.S. Civil War. I love the Victory Games one, but I tried my U.S. Civil War, the GMT one. I attempted to play it, wasn't fond of it. Put it back in the box. I didn't throw it out, but I sold it. It wasn't going to stay here. So
yeah, and I think I mentioned when I think Mark Herman was on or something, we were talking about Civil War. I haven't played the Eric Lee Smith Victory Games one, and I also haven't played Mark's For the People, the two that Mark Semenich cribbed from largely and kind of took the best parts of, from my understanding. I might like one of those two way better than U.S. Civil War. It's just the one I've played, and I've played a ton of it. I got hooked on it and got pulled down that rabbit hole. Yeah. That's not to say it's better than the Civil War or For the People.
Well, there's three games for me in that branch that were Victory Games and then GMT redid. NATO, U.S. Civil War, and the Vietnam one. Now, I haven't touched the Vietnam one yet. I haven't played the NATO one yet. Matter of fact, I sent NATO to Todd. He brought it back. So, but I do know that the three Victory Games versions of those three games I really enjoyed. So, all right, Todd.
So
next game is going over to McMurray's house from 2025 that you all are going to barbecue.
I don't have one like that. I don't have something that I'm that down on, but Dark Summer, Deadly Woods, those two games specifically, I just did not enjoy that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they're chit draw, that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why I thought I'd be all over. And instead, Victory in the Victory in the West type of unknown VCS, whatever you want to call it, Fall Blau, that has caught my attention, which has been kind of an interesting switch. But I'm sure I just wasn't getting something, but I don't care. I moved on. So
okay. I've seen a few little things go through the comment section, but I mean, I'm serious. David says it right. We all accumulated a few turkeys. I mean, has anybody out there just taken a game and literally not even tried to sell it or give it away and just thrown the son of a bitch in the trash can? I mean, I threw one away that I regret years ago, and I think it was because maybe it's because I wasn't so deep into gaming, and I wished I never would have done that. But it was Patton's Best from Avalon Hill, the tank game. I wish I had never done that.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
wished I had never done it. So
that's coming.
Man, Gway, I got a question for you, buddy. So we were talking a minute ago, Alan. You were talking about
Elephant Army,
the Battle Deep.
Yeah.
Okay. As much as I've played a few World War I games, I think the Kaiser's Battle was one I played. It was actually kind of fun, but I can't find a World War I game that's going to get me. I don't want the slog of the trenches on the Western Front. I did. Todd, what was the one we both played? I sent it to you after I had it, the Tannenberg.
Yeah, you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't like that one.
Well, no, it was East Front. That wasn't too bad at all.
What about Rock of the Marne, Jeff?
Oh yeah, well, I had a blast with that, but that's not a game that I'll replay. I still got that game too, so
I had a blast playing that.
World War I is a tough time period to mirror at the tactical level, because it's I gain 50 yards here, you gain 50 yards there, back and forth type of thing with it too. So it really is tough to figure out a system that's gonna work with it at the tactical level. There's been others I've played going back to. I think I was Nanguaya's on here talking to him about is the old SPI Soldiers, which I thought at the time, way back in the day, 1981 or whatever it came out, was a great. It was like, oh my God, this is great, because it was a World War I type of thing, and it still is, but it's limited as well, because you're still blasting each other away, and it's a 50 yards here, 50 yards there type of thing. So it's really a tough game to model. Now, I will say, with that being said, one of the things that really intrigues me I'm watching is that new Trench Raid, it's Hex Encounter, but it's a solo game. People are really liking that in terms of the narrative that it develops with that.
I've
And
heard
from
the
what I've seen with people playing it, and what I've heard from Compass and stuff like that, it's really gotten good traction in terms of the story that it comes out with. So maybe there's something new that can resurrect World War I tactical stuff, but it's a tough system to model.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people like that. Hey, look at this game on here. That game went around the rounds. Not enough to
Murray's favorite game, isn't it?
I think it might be.
I have 2 copies of that because each of these jabronis gave me theirs.
Jabroni.
That's a trash bin game, I would say, for me. So.
You never even opened it.
Ross, Alan, anybody here? I can give you McMurray's address in that game. Warriors of Japan 2, McMurray. He loves them. He's collecting them.
World's longest collection of those.
See, the fun part is Todd played Warriors of England and then asked me if I still had Warriors of Japan.
It is true. Warriors of England was fun. What can I say?
So
I'd very much like to play it with you, Todd. We should do that sometime.
I'm busy.
A little bit off of the review topic. I was just thinking to you because you were talking. I know Nanguea has been playing. He used a soldier for them. Now, of course, his approach to World War One. Nanguea is not. He's not just simply playing Hex Encounter. He's telling a whole story, and that's just the dedication to that is just freaking amazing to me.
Yeah.
But I want to go way back because we've talked about it a couple times before. The first game that I bought with my own money as a kid was SPI's Grenadier, which you had all the different battles. You just had the white maps, I think, in it.
Yeah.
And I think Frigate was the same way. You just had the single color maps or whatever. But I didn't know as much about gaming in those days. But you don't see games like that. I mean, you can't say things like Men of Iron because they have different maps. And they go through, they go through the different generations, but there's different maps. Musket and Pike's probably the same way. They're all, the maps are all tailored to the battlefield. I mean, you would have to take something like Squad Leader or something like Band of Brothers, but those are still all focused in one theater in one, time period. Are there games like that, like Soldier, like Grenadier, or, Frigate, or, there's the original was a Strategy 1 that SPI made where you could. Yeah. It's funny because you could play a black powder game, but your counters you were using looked like they had the armor symbol on them.
A good comparison is the Great Battles of History compared to the Pre-Stags games. You look at the Great Battles of History; they're all they're playing on authentic terrain, authentic maps that roughly mirror what it is. Again, some of them are all open and stuff like that. But you go back like the Pre-Stags games, and you had maps that had just stuff all over the place, and you used one section of the map, to somehow simulate that, and you had to put stuff over. You had to overlay terrain you didn't want to put on there. I remember putting paper over the ponds in some scenarios and stuff like that. You just don't see that now. I think because you've got much better printing quality and stuff like that. But you had that back in the day.
That's another box sitting down there at the hobby store that kind of shocked me when I walked in there yesterday, and they have the big Great Battles of Alexander.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they had the big press tags, but I was
like, they're selling it for $100. That's one thing I will say about my hobby stores. The games that they do put up, they don't bump any prices or anything. They sell them usually pretty reasonable stuff. But I've been in there, me, I'm a big miniatures guy now, so that's all I'm in there buying is miniatures.
Hell yeah!
All right, so we've been going with the little pick and peck questions for an hour and 15 minutes. Perfect time. So let's go ahead, and I was going to say, I think with the horn that we've been around talking about things of 2025, we probably don't need to do the checklist of what we played in 2025, but let's do this. Alan, let's start with you. Give me just from your list of 2025, if you want to focus in on something that's specific, give us a list of maybe 3 games that you delved into in 2025 that were good for you, that you found interesting and appealed to you.
3 games. I mean, one of them I'll take is I'll go back to Blind Swords for a second. If people are getting into Blind Swords or anything like that, one of them that I thought is really interesting for play is Sedgwick Attacks. Very low to medium counter density, simple scenario rules, pretty straightforward battle. It's a great learning game. I was really surprised with that. We had a good time with it, even though it's pretty basic and pretty vanilla. It was a good game. So I'll say that for one. I'm looking at my list here now. Another one that surprised me too, which I really liked. I wasn't sure, coming from Great Battles of the American Civil War, was the McDowell scenario. And I say that because, where are you guys? There you are. I say that because the scale on that is different. The scale is 50-meter elevation versus the 25-meter elevation within there, which made it much more difficult to move units around. You think, Ross Plan Into the Woods, which has got a lot of terrain, marshes and everything else. But man, trying to get those guys up the hill, it was just painful. It was just hard. You're feeling like you're hiking up that hill. I mean, it's a big hill, and that really surprised me. It really was a good, small little battle, but it was different from the standpoint of a Great Battles of the American Civil War version on there. I don't know, a third one. What else do I got here? For surprising ones, I don't know. Just looking here. Oh, actually, another one that surprised me too. This was just an out of a blue play that I had, was a game called Alliance, which is from Columbia Games, and it's kind of a Napoleonic diplomacy multiplayer type of game. Really surprised how easy it was. The rules are only 8 pages, give or take. And really surprising how I liked it. Played it with 6 others and really had a good time. Nobody knew how to play it except the guy who was bringing it. We all got into it. We got the rules beforehand. 8 pages was nothing. Got into it, had a really good game. One of the other nice things too, you can get a big neoprene map, which is like 4x8, which is Danny. We did. I've just mentioned it in the map, which is great because it plays much easier. It's a block game, so that's kind of one strike against it. But the fun you can have, stabbing people in the back and playing diplomacy and Napoleonic style was kind of fun. So those would be my 3, I think.
Okay. Todd, take over for a second, would you? Andrew, why don't you 3 things in 2025 that you enjoyed? I'll be right back. I can use little boys' room.
3 things in 2025 that I enjoyed. I kind of touched. It's a little more on the abstract side, but I kind of touched on it earlier. I played a lot more games with opponents this year, as opposed to just soloing, which I enjoyed quite a bit. I'm looking forward to doing that more this next year as I try and figure out how the hell to play stuff on Vassal. Todd, did we play Storm over Arnhem last year?
That's a good question, man. I think that was 25. Yeah.
Okay, so it was 25. I really enjoyed that. That was wonderful. Todd kicked the shit out of me.
I did enjoy that too.
That's the Avalon Hill one, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's one of the. It might be one of the first games I ever bought. Like back, not the particular one we played, but I bought that because I watched A Bridge Too Far and just the.
Yeah. I mean, I was the British, and Todd just absolutely rolled me. I am no John Frost. That was delightful. I'm looking at there's one that I actually enjoyed that I kind of bought on a weird whim. Like, we'll give this a shot. It might be good. It might really suck. A game called Jack the Ripper, which I've never seen before. I never heard of the company. It's some weird. You guys remember, Todd? You remember what the name of this company was?
I didn't play it with you.
No, I know. I played it with. Well, that was part of the issues. I played it with Pat, who spent like 12 years in Homicide, and I didn't figure that was actually going to translate. But fuck that guy. It did really, really well. Apparently,
Yeah, I don't remember that. Yeah.
it is by what is the name of this company? It's a weird name. Aeulic Council Publishing.
Okay.
Either way,
Yeah.
that was fun. I was not expecting it. It's like a weird area movement kind of thing. I had a blast. Last one. I don't know. I mean, okay. It might be a cop out because I think I've said it each of the past 3 years. But just randomly getting out of a funk by putting the Compass games. I think it's Compass. No, it's not. Who makes the mini folio games? Is that Compass?
No,
No,
decision.
Decision. Putting the Decision, Dreadnoughts, and Battle Wagons games on the table and just playing whether it's Denmark Strait or River Plate. Coronel is really fun. The Falklands is fun. All four of those scenarios are wonderful. You can get them on the table. You can play them. They are just good, fun games to play. Same with it's a tank on tank sort of thing. But yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's my three.
Okay. How about you, Ross?
What is the actual question? 3 what?
Yes, Mike.
What were your 3 games that you kind of only dive deep into games, but I guess the 3 games that you really dove into that were really your top 3 of the year, I guess, that you really enjoyed or got something out of it.
Okay. I'll modify it slightly based on McMurray's answer also, which is kind of like experiences or kind of beyond just the games themselves. But one, obviously I played a lot of GBACW. That's been great. One kind of specific battle or game was the Prairie Grove scenario that I was playtesting. That'll be in the Trans-Mississippi box that comes out whenever it comes out. So Clinton Ray's the designer there. He's been working on it a long time. It's coming along a lot, and I have been lucky to be able to help with some of the Vassal stuff and development stuff, but then playtest as well. And playtesting the Prairie Grove one, which is just up the road from me, I've been there multiple times, really like the battlefield. That has been really special and really cool to be able to do because I know the terrain and know the space, and that was able to inform the playtesting too, which I thought was kind of cool. And it's just it's a fun scenario too. It's got some interesting things in it. So that's one.
Oh,
it's on the GBACW front at least.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's always good to be able to get out to the field, especially if you're just right there.
Right.
It makes a whole difference. I've done that with Saratoga a number of times.
Yep, and that's related to my second one, which is 2025. I got to do it twice. I mentioned the Gettysburg trip where we actually played Kernstown. We went to Kernstown and Gettysburg, but then played Kernstown right after being at the battlefield. I also, in October, I think it was, went to Pea Ridge for a long weekend in Arkansas, played the old SPI Pea Ridge game over 3 nights, and we spent 2 of those days at the battlefield. So play part of it, go see the battlefield, and see the spaces that we're fighting over.
That'd be bitching.
Pretty incredible. I mean, that I did that twice in 1 year, which is pretty amazing to be able to go to a battlefield and make it a gaming weekend based on those spaces.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then the third 2025, right at the end of the year, that sticks in my mind, and I'm right in the middle of it now, is I have really enjoyed finally dipping my toe into GC ACW, Great Campaigns. It's been on my kind of to-do list forever. Thematically, of course, I'm interested in the period. And I've started with Thunder on the Mississippi, the Vicksburg campaign. Not done any advanced rules yet or campaign game, but trying to learn the game through the basic scenarios. So I've now played scenario 2, which is a 5-turn scenario, which seems about the right amount to actually have enough happen that it warrants replaying. So I think we're on our 3rd or 4th replay of scenario 2 to just get the get reps in and get the rhythm down on a scenario where we understand the victory conditions and all that. And I'm really starting to understand the rhythm of the system, what it's trying to do with maneuver, and how to lock guys up, how to burn bridges down, and all of that. So I'm really liking that, and that started in 2025 and will continue into this year.
Cool. I'll go next, and then it's up to you actually to close it out on that. My focus of 2025 was to focus in on systems. So kind of perfect for this question. ASL being the most, I played with 27, 11 scenarios, then GCACW with 22, GTS and GBACW both had 20. And then Black Swan, Blind Sword, whatever, came in with a bunch, the 10 plus the other scenarios I played in that box. I'm really happy that I focused on systems this year and focused on games, and it impacted my 26 setting of goals. And it was fun getting ASL. I'm certainly I'm more comfortable with it. Like I could sit down and play a game and feel like, oh, okay. I know I'm getting a ton wrong, but I'm also doing it's okay. And basically played that with Rich, local guy, and then Ross and I got one game in, or one scenario. Played several times, but one scenario. So that was cool. So that was cool doing that. And then GBACW was interesting because it's a very complex game, and it was fun getting to play a lot of those games, mainly out of Stigler's box, which was cool, to have that. And it'll be interesting to see where that goes in 26. So that's it.
Yeah, we kind of slipped past that one, didn't we? Yeah, mine's here's 3 games that I played, and they're not always up my alley, but all 3 were from Lock and Load that I really enjoyed, and 2 of the 3 are not stuff you would see me normally playing that were really intriguing to me. 2 of them were really, really easy to get through. One's a little more, you got to think a little bit more, and there's a little more rulage to it. And I don't know if these 2 are going to continue any more progression or any more boxes out of those. I'm not sure yet. One of them I think probably will. The JU-87 game. I always talk about I don't want to play Navy and I don't want to play airplanes, but I played their JU-87 Stuka game, and that one. Why did Hexy actually like that? Because it was close air support. Okay, it was knocking out tanks or knocking out whatever. I saw, and I had a lot of fun. Played a couple scenarios in that was really, really cool. The close quarters battle Waterloo, David, they were kind enough to give me that, and that's a fun game. I know I sent one up. I gave the extra one up to Chris Long. Got that one there, but that is a very unique and interesting take. Think of almost an ASL, little maybe bigger ASL for Napoleonics. It was actually pretty cool. And then Point Blank, the card game from Lock and Load. There's, I know there's all those games out there. What's the GMT one? Is it Undaunted? No. What's
Fields of Fire?
Fields of Fire. I've not played that, but just from what I've seen with other people playing it, I think that Sean's Point Blank has way more depth and way more detail from me playing that and just seeing it. So those were the 3 for me. All right.
Cool.
All right. So we're going to get into 2026 here, and this is where Todd and I think Alan are really going to shine on this one here. And I think Ross has got some good input here.
Whoa. Yeah, I thought we shined already. I don't know what
we're going to shine even more. So,
okay.
But I want to address Bob there. Bob, we were telling you about Look Away. I'm going to get one thing off my 2026 checklist that Alan and I are going to do. If you like great campaigns of the American Civil War, that style of game, the Look Away game they're from ATO. And you got Slav talking about there, the John Prados. Camp and I this year, he just picked up his. Ross, you said you bought the one you saw the other day. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if you don't have it or you have it and you're scared of it or you're not thinking there's much to it, of all those games, Army of the Heartland is phenomenal. They're barber maps, but they're in the old style type of barber maps. And the game system is very, very fun. You got big old charts that you can lay out on the table to account for force size and stuff like that. Kind of like with GCACW, where you have one marker on the map and you got all the strength markers over there in a force group or whatever. Army of the Heartland is extremely strong and efficient, but we're going to get to that with 2026. All right, so where we're going to go. All right, I'm going to start with Andrew. What do you want to get done in 2026? I mean, what's really got its claws on you, Andrew, for 2026?
Okay, I got a couple.
Okay.
Alan and I are going to play Panzer Grenadier. Been reading that, been looking at that a lot. Been watching the videos that are on YouTube. That's one. Another one on the board game side is I'm waiting on that game from White Dog Publishing that I never even heard of before, called Master and Commander. Looks like it'll be a delightful Age of Sail game. On the miniature side, Todd and I were talking a good amount yesterday, talking about trying to play a fair amount of Altar of Freedom, which is a brigade level. Well, I'd say the back. It's an army level game. Your maneuver element is a brigade that's on a stand. And the nice thing is the rules are supposed to be pretty well written, and there are a million scenarios available. I have figures painted for all of them, and I've got mats made for a good, number of them. So that's one of the big things. If I had to pick two, those would probably be the two big games that I'm focused on. I'm sure that as stuff pops up, there's littler stuff, but those are two probably of the biggest ones that have a good chance at succeeding because the stuff is already here, and it's not a game where I'm going to try and build a bunch of stuff, paint a bunch of stuff, prep a bunch of stuff, organize a bunch of stuff, and then go looking for an opponent, which always seems to kill it.
I'm tickled about the Panzer Grenadier one with you now. I think that's going to be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to y'all doing something, and that's going to be a Vassal thing, right?
Yeah, if I can ever get access to the Panzer Grenadier site, that or I'm just going to have to mail Alan a flash drive with an envelope in it.
I'll get it for you if you can't get on there. I don't know what's going on with it, but we'll get that worked out.
That or we'll toss it on a Google Drive or something. Dude was all kinds of happy, like, yeah, you should have access to it. It's just somewhere in the vast expanses of the internet that not a big deal. We're going to figure it out, though, and it is going to be awesome. We're going to play it on Vassal for the first time because I'm a big boy with a computer now.
All right, Ross, let's hear it. Your intentions for 2026, what you want to accomplish.
All right, so I've got two direct gaming ones and then one that's kind of adjacent. So one is 2026 for me. GCACW is going to be kind of the new system that I'm trying to really spend time with and play. I'm continuing to work through the Vicksburg box. I expect in April, and Wardrobe's probably going to mention this as well, I expect we're going to play a campaign game, a multiplayer campaign of Battle Above the Clouds, so the Chickamauga campaign. That will, just because of what I end up doing, I'm sure in about a month, I'll start reading way too much about Chickamauga and preparing myself.
Pick up Dave Powell's books. That's all you'll need.
Okay. I'm going to write it down. Books. Dave Powell.
Dave Powell's books. Yep. Pick up those books. Those are all you need. He's got the
because I don't have any Chickamauga specific
he goes way back for the whole campaign, so it's good. It'll fit with your great campaigns.
Okay.
Stuff. He's got three books. I'll send you the link to it.
Okay.
To, the books.
So GCACW broadly, but of course we're gonna, if I'm doing the over 4 days or something, the Chickamauga campaign on the table, that's gonna be a big, at least the first half of the year, that's gonna be a big mental commitment. Second, I'm gonna continue the Shiloh campaign, the big campaign on Into the Woods. Jeff, you mentioned earlier that will run probably through half the year. I mean, we're only playing on Sundays really, and we got many more sessions. We're on the 5th turn of 12 or something, and I doubt it sees the second day, so it's probably going to be a 12 turn thing. Cruising along on that, really enjoying that. And then adjacent to that is, and this is a big 2026 goal, and there's kind of a time crunch on it. I have been working, and the people on the stream now know about this, but not everyone else. I've been working for dozens and dozens of hours to improve the GBACW Vassal modules. I had kind of redone the By Swords and Bayonets one that you all ended up playing, so people have seen some of that. I've got all kinds of improvements to that too that I'm doing initially for Into the Woods. So my own Into the Woods play at some point in the next few weeks or months will switch over to my module for Into the Woods, which will show off a whole bunch of what I'm hoping will become indispensable improvements to the GBACW modules. And the time crunch is that I want to get the Shiloh one done and over, people getting used to the conventions that I've created in it, and get the assets from GMT for 3 days of Gettysburg so that I can get to work on it before it comes out. So hopefully have an updated, really modern Vassal module for Three Dog when it comes out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, those changes that Ross made in those modules are awesome.
That's
I don't have a lot of experience with it, just basically that one, but they were really good. He knows what he's doing there.
I'm trying, and I've played enough of the game now. I know what a player wants in it, and then watching you all was super helpful because I saw how you all actually interacted with the module that helped me refine some other things. And then playing GCACW on Vassal, which has a fantastic module, including completely basically saying, you know what, this doesn't have to represent exactly what happens on the board, that it combines a lot of stuff with multiple counters into one counter face. Borrowing some ideas from that for GBACW is what I'm working on also.
No, that's interesting. Interesting.
Real quick, Joey, check your email. I just sent you an email. I wish I could be that concise with, like I said, I'm not of this group here. I'm probably the least one to revisit a game. I mean, I'm not going to say that, because there are games that I've played a second or third time, but I'm not apt to, I just played this 5-turn scenario. Let's set up and go at it again.
Yeah, it's just so funny. That's my inclination. I could play it 10 times in a row. In fact, I can usually not find an opponent willing to keep doing it over and over. I could just play the same scenario, to a degree that most people are going to be like, can we please move on? And then I'll move on, of course.
I wonder if it's maybe because when I came back to gaming, when I did it, it was like shortly after I started, because we have this wonderful YouTube thing. When I came back, that I went right into doing content, and I wonder if that's what sort of stumped me from not, because I keep thinking maybe my brain's working wrong, and I just want to put stuff out, different stuff for people to see. I'd have to think that the greatest thing that I've tackled since I have started doing the content was doing the GBACW rules. And I know I still get a lot of comments from the one I did years ago that is a lot of that, not all of it, but quite a bit of it's probably still outdated with the updated rules, that they still use that thing. And I would say, as far as that goes, that would be my greatest contribution. But I'm just not one, like I say, have I reset a scenario up that I started after and played 2 turns? Is like, no, that's not right, and reset it? Maybe once. I'm just not, I'm like, you know what? Move on, move on. Maybe I need to. Maybe I need to who knows? Maybe this ASL stuff that I'm fixed to go on this kick, maybe that'll do it for me. So,
and Jeff, because you mentioned it, I'll say that your GBACW rules videos, that's what made me find your channel, 9 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was. They are still super useful, and really the only person teaching the game in a way that's based on something you're trying to achieve. So if it's like, oh, how does the command structure work, or how does artillery work, or how does terrain work? That is also on my goals. Is I did do one video on my channel of a very specific thing about artillery about firing out of refused flanks that someone had asked about. I want to do more of those too. I think there's more room for GBACW to do better video tutorials and better rules explanations for a rule set that is pretty complex and hard to learn straight from the rule book, in my opinion. But if you have someone explaining to you conceptually something and showing you examples, I think you can learn. And really, some people will learn great from yours. It's great to have more than one person doing this, because someone will, some things work better for other people.
different
Right.
perspectives. Yeah.
And there's just not there's like I said, there's not enough people out there that do it. I mean, we were talking earlier, about like Stupid Joe. He does the playthrough examples. He does them using the game, and I know people pick up from that. The ASL crews out there, I would have to say of all the game systems out there, they're probably the ones that have the most people that do instructional type videos. And granted, most of it's using Vassal, but those guys are amazing. And there's, we talk about this all the time. We talk about this with GBACW, that you're looking at it right here. This is it. This is all that's doing GBACW on YouTube, playing the stuff, playing it whether it's recorded or live, and talking about the stuff. There's just nobody doing. And you got to wonder, GBACW is one of those super, super duper detailed games. All right. ASL is the prince of all of them when it comes to rules depth. But you could probably put 10, 12 different systems on there. There's nobody teaching these super detailed games out there with any kind of full extent. I mean, there's people I know that have started to do stuff like that. I know that there's a guy that was starting to do OCS, and I think he did 1 or 2 or 3, and then boom, it's gone. It's I haven't seen anything else.
It is hard.
And that's probably why, because it's hard. And what I would love to take, one of my favorite. Well, I'm gonna say for 2020.
It's really important for GBACW right now, because Three Dogs coming out probably this summer or whatever, that will bring a bunch of new players into the system, or curious players, because it's Gettysburg, first of all, and the simple rules will be in there, and we'll talk to Nathan next week about those, but that's going to be the opportunity for whoever hooks onto the simple ones and likes those rules. There needs to be video content for them to be like, all right, well, what's the full rules look like?
Right.
Yeah, to go
How do
forward.
we get into that?
Slob, in regards to what your statement you just made right there, I will say that on simpler game systems, I agree 100%, but I'm not opposed to it on the super detailed games where you're trying to get all the realism you can out of a system. So I will take that with things like GBACW. I will take that with things like Goss. I'm really hoping we're getting ready to see the corner turned on Line of Battle to make that system appeal to me even more. I don't hate it, but it doesn't compare to me to GBACW, but I think that's going to change. Smaller, lighter games, I don't like major, everybody bitches about errata. Really? The game just got shipped and there's already errata to it. I don't know. I'm not a big errata guy. I should be. And I get people when I play stuff all the time, did you use the errata? And I'm not gonna lie to you, 99.9% of the time, Hexy did not go looking for errata.
Just play it. I mean, unless it's
just play as is.
Yeah, have fun.
Play as is.
Yeah, until you get diving into it.
All right, Alan.
What was the
Hit us
question?
with it.
Yeah, what was the question again? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, sorry, I went off on a
2026.
rant about GBACW.
2026. Hit us with it.
Oh, 2026. Well, yeah, I take a little bit different approach in terms of how I play it. The way I'm going to get back to what I was doing originally is looking at it more historically. So I've got stuff in ACW, I've got stuff in World War II. I've got stuff in different time frames that I'm going to be interested in. So, definitely going to be ACW. There's going to be a lot of stuff, as we just said, GBACW. You've got Three Dog coming out. That's probably going to be everybody's, or at least 3 out of the 5 of us, maybe more, is going to be on the table at that particular point in time. We've also got to look at, as you said, we want to get into Army of the Heartland. Looking forward to that. More of the whole Rebel Fury, Army of the Potomac series. Blind Swords is coming out with at least 2 games this year, at least 2 more modules this year, if not a third that's still in the works. So there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff on that. But getting back to specifically what I want to do is go again with themes, and I'm putting together what I'm calling a Gettysburg Tactical. Now you may say, well, you got GBACW. That's tactical, right? I'm talking no. I'm saying we're going down below the regiment, folks. We're going down to regiments and companies. So think Into the Wheat Field, you know, Herman's mini / hex encounter type of game. Think of that level of play. Now I'm putting together, I've got roughly 4 games together that I'll play with this, you know, Into the Wheat Field being one of them. Also, we talked about, you know, games we would trash, and we're talking about Flying Gettysburg. Well, this is where I'm going to try to resurrect that, because it gives me a map, it gives me counters, and now I just need to create the rules to go around it. But it gets a beautiful map, tactical map of Culp's Hill. You don't see a lot of that. We're going to see one coming out with GBACW when it comes out. Again, regimental level, but I'm talking regiments, but then companies below that you're actually fighting with and working with in there. So I'm putting together a series that'll have about 4 or 5 games covering first day, second day, and maybe Pickett's Charge. That's the one thing that's open. Pickett's Charge is hard at the company level because they all walk up to the stone wall and get blasted by canister fire.
Hell yeah.
So so that's pretty easy. So I don't know what will happen with that. We'll see. But I'm going to try to do something like that with tactical. I've already got a couple of games, couple of old ones. You know, people remember Devil's Den, the old Avalon Hill and Victor Games. And then there's the Iron Brigade, which is the very limited production of first day with the Iron Brigade in Herbst Woods, which is an awesome lead up to the Devil's Den game. So those will be part of that as well. So I'm going to try to do theme type stuff like that with it too. Same thing with World War II. You know, we talked about that before when we were talking about different games a couple of months ago. Getting back with the Italian campaign, talking about doing something more with that, doing some more casino, Salerno, Italy 43 from the Simovich series. Anything else you guys can dream up, or anybody else has ideas about, I'm happy to hear them. But putting together full campaigns on that, and also trying to integrate, you know, as Ross said, getting books on Chickamauga and everything else, getting books and more information about the campaigns in Italy and things like that too, that I'm going to try to put together with stuff in 2026 and beyond too, because there's a lot more I'm doing, not only with World War II, Napoleonics, but also picking up American Revolution stuff, given we're at the 250th anniversary time frame too.
That's going to be huge this year, I'll bet.
That's going to be very huge this year, and I got to kind of backfill, and I'm going to kind of look to you guys too, because some of those battles are super small. You know, they're skirmish level. They're not even super tactical. They're skirmish.
Well, yeah, you know, and Herman Lovin, he like I said, he was talking about for Black Swan doing a revolution. A lot of people were hitting up for it, and there was really only the one game or the one bat. Now I can't remember what that was.
Saratoga.
Saratoga. Yeah, that was the only one he could really. You know, now Blind Sword's a different story, but Black Swan, that was the only one he could put the pieces together.
Couple I'm struggling with. I mean, to lead them off, you got Lexington and Concord and Bunker Hill. You know, those are super small. Those are skirmishes. You know, there's nothing really out there except for miniatures that I've been able to find. Yeah, that's why I'm looking at you, Andrew and Todd, to do something like that. I've got some ideas, and I'll hit you guys up later with kind of a Herman Luttman type of Into the Woods type of matchup between miniatures and hex and counter with that skirmish stuff. So,
all right, cool. All right, Todd.
My goal for 26 is to possibly limit the number of sessions, and also limit the number of unique games played, because I like that and I want to continue refining that. My focus is still going to try to get some more ASL time in, GCACW, and Victory in the West, as I said, is going to be replacing GTS on that. And Unconditional Surrender, which is set up behind me, the Western campaigns. I've wanted to dive into that, and so far I've been enjoying it. So, and I've got a nice number of sessions already recorded playing that. And then the other ones are going to be Holland 44. I'm going to finish my campaign I'm playing with the local guy, Jerry. and then he and I might actually undertake to fill up that Victory in the West. We'll play Killing Ground. I asked him last time, I said, would you be willing to play that? And he goes, I'll have to wrap my head around that because it's pretty involved, but it is kind of Victory in the West variable combat. So that'd be cool to do that. McMurray and I we'll figure out the minis we're going to play. It sounds like we're kind of maybe going to ACW. I think for 26, I'd like to figure out why this is another whole show, and I just need to talk to my therapist, but why minis is kind of something about it's kind of gone south on me a little bit. And what we were talking, McMurray and I were talking, some of it could be scenario design because it's, those scenarios are not refined, and we don't need to get into that. So I want to get it. So, because I really would like to enjoy a miniatures game again, but we'll work on that. So that would be, and that my list is shorter than last year that I want to accomplish. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've done a lot of, the only word I can think of it, I don't mean just derogatory, but you've done a lot of purging and narrowed your field quite a bit, and I need to do the same thing. I guess I'm going to blow through mine here. So I don't know if the number's going to stick, but I don't see any reason why I can't because none of the scenarios are really long. But I really want to get through. I really want to play. I'd like to play up to 15 scenarios of Starter Kit. I think I can do it because I think I did like 10 or 11 last year. And, if I hadn't done the Japanese, I probably could have done 20. All right. Yeah. I wanted to do it this past year, but it didn't happen. But I want to play a Starter Kit Hassle. So it may be in September, take another shot at Decision at Elst.
You doing this solo?
Huh?
Solo?
That's pretty much all I do. So when it comes to that, because you guys played the Granddaddy, you don't play that little piddly stuff that I play. So. But I just sent an email to Joey about a proposition. So Joey would be a great instructor. Band of Brothers. I had this up to 10 scenarios, but I knocked it down to 5. I want to play 5 more scenarios of Band of Brothers. Not a lot of people talk about it, but I like it. I like the system. I really do.
That's another tactical system.
Yeah. By Worthington.
Yeah, I mean, you can play a scenario 3 times in one night on some of them. Some of them are bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah.
3 Dog, the new one.
Oh, yeah.
So we said we have Nathan Miller is going to be on with us next Saturday night. And we're going to talk about, we're going to get sort of the preclude, I guess, to the simple rules for GBACW. So with that in mind, those of you that would like to play GBACW, but it's too much, get ready for that one and get out and pre-order your 3 Dog right now while it's $63 so that you can have it and you'll get all that simple rule stuff in that box because you're not going to buy that game for $63 once it comes off a pre-order. So get over there and get that thing now. Whether you even if you don't think you're going to play that game, believe me, a year from now you'll be able to resell it probably for $200. All right, so go get that thing right now.
Exactly.
But our plan for that is, of course, Camp has already forewarned me that my big table will go back together. So when that comes out, but we've talked about it, and I hope that somehow we can pull it together that we will start a campaign on Vassal of the new 3 Dog once we know that Ross can get his hands on everything and build the Vassal module for us to use if it's not already being done. So we're looking forward to that. Blind Swords. 3 full battles. I think Alan and I are going to take care of that on Vassal against each other because most all of those games are, the one we're playing now is like 18 turns or 20 turns, and we're getting there. We're almost done with it. We'll be seeing some more of that here shortly.
You wipe out all my units in one turn. We're going to get it done.
You did that to me the turn before, so I don't want to hear it, all right? Yeah, if y'all didn't watch it, go watch that last play that we did because that play had an interesting ending. All right.
Are you going to continue those in order of the battle happening?
We are.
Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
And the next one, I think, not the next one we're playing, but the one after that, I'm not real fond of, and that's the P Ridge one. I don't like that game for some reason. It's the battle itself I don't like. But I think we said Kernstown's next, right?
Kernstown's next, yeah.
Okay. Army of the Potomac and the Rebel Fury stuff. I haven't done Rebel Fury, but we're going to do Army of the Potomac. We're going to, and Mark, if you're still listening there, we were talking about this earlier. I think that once Alan and I hit the ability to do a full campaign, we're dragging you in. Tell me that you're down to get in and do that with us. I'm sure you will be. A most fearful sacrifice. I either want to do a scenario or go to the full game again. With the list I got sitting in front of me here, I'm going to say it's probably going to be just a scenario, but you know me, something about a Civil War game. I just don't want to play a scenario. So, and here's a weird one. Don't snap at me. Don't get mad at me. Okay. But I mentioned this a while back. D&D solo kit that I bought. I really want to do something with that.
One of us.
Good old War Mutt
Nerd.
has got me looking at this freaking
Thank you,
Against
Ross.
Darkness solo stuff, which looks like a riot. And I went ahead and bought the rules for that and got the sheets to score, do all that. I may even give that a whirl. I look, guys, I still play World of Warcraft Classic. I play by myself. I don't play with guilds or clans. I just play it randomly here and there, but I have fun with it. I enjoy it. I've just never been a D&D guy or anything like that, but I think I'm going to do something this year. Now, with that being said, another thing that if I got to break bones to do it, somehow, some way, it may not be pretty. It's probably going to be on my living room floor, but I'm going to do a Flames of War game somehow, some way.
Yeah.
I may not have any terrain. I may not get to that. Maybe I'll throw freaking pillows down there for buildings. I don't know. But I
You are one of the most prolific 3D printers I've ever met. If you can't
know,
print
but
a
I'm gonna be
goddamn
doing that.
house, I don't know what to tell you.
I got to do something. I need to try this out for myself. Is it a rabbit hole? Oh, hell yeah, it's a rabbit hole. But I love to paint the miniatures. I've got my screensaver up. You can't see, but I've spent all day today printing out new stuff for I don't like the painting station I got that I just built a while back. Now I'm going to build a new one. So I'm doing all that. All right. And I'm painting stuff. And I'm doing basing stuff. I keep going. I told the guys, I sent them a text message yesterday. Who the hell thought it was a good idea to stick my hobby store between my place of work and my home on the same road that I drive? Because I can't
We
stay
should
out.
all be so lucky.
Yeah, Jeff, where's the problem?
I just going to throw money at it. That in fact, they got a swear jar in there, and I have to be careful. I put in $1. It's a quarter for every time you cuss. I still got 2 quarters left to use. All right. Now here we go, Nord. This is for you and Chucky. No, wait, no, we'll save that one. GCACW. No specific number. Something's going to get played. I'm going to play some great campaigns of Murder Civil War. Thankfully for me, Todd and Ross are going to play a campaign game, so I'll have to have Todd beating me up about that. Who knows? Maybe I'll join in on that one with them. But I'm going to do something GCACW. If it's a scenario or not, maybe Todd will do that with me. I don't know. All right, Nord and Chuck, Library of Napoleonic Battles. I will do something this year. I'm going to play something. Who wants to buy my Coming Storm? I'll sell it. All right. Probably one of my favorite World War II systems, because I have a new one now that's at the top of the chart. The Fall Blau stuff I love, and he's got 3 more games coming. But BCS, I think it's still the most amazing maneuver World War II game out there, in my opinion. So I'm going to be doing some BCS too. I said the Flames of War thing. Mark, this one's for you, and I may have to pull you in for this too. I want to play a scenario. Now, don't cringe, everybody, because it has water in it. And I want to play Pacific War. I want to play a scenario of the big monster Pacific War, and I'm going to do it somehow.
What else did you say you wanted to do this year?
Nope. I told y'all that Al and I are going to play Army of the Heartland. One way or another, that's going to get done. Okay. And the other thing you're going to probably see out of me once I settle down to the method of how I'm going to do it is I own probably 90% of the world's World War II, American Civil War, and Napoleonic computer games. I own all of the Tiller stuff, okay, from old and new, the War Game Design Center stuff, and I own a lot of stuff that you can get off of Steam. I'm fortunate enough that Slytherin and Matrix like to send me keys for stuff. So I'm going to do some of that stuff this year, too. I want to start. I'm just trying to pick the right ones because I got a feeling that if I play some of the Panzer campaign stuff, that's going to be video, not live stuff, because I think with all the movement you do in that game, people would lose interest too fast in that. I don't know how much RTS stuff I'll do, but I know a lot of the Civil War War Game Design Group stuff is pretty good. I mean, maybe see. I don't know how much of that you'll see, but I'm going to start processing that. So I love all that stuff. But yeah, so 2026
You're
is
still missing one, Jeff.
Am I missing one?
What else did you say you were going to do this year?
Did I say that really?
You did say it. You said it
Well,
a couple
didn't
times.
I just cover that Pacific War?
No.
Flying Colors?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Yeah, well, you buy war games about 3 times a week. So,
No, I haven't done much of that recently. So,
well, then it's a good time to fix that.
although I've been buying miniature
At game
stuff.
stores on the way home.
So
That's correct.
Something
It doesn't
that
have to be flying colors, but Jeff did say he was going to try and play a naval game this year.
I thought Pacific War would cover that. It's going to have
No,
aircraft carriers in it, I'm sure.
Dickhead, that doesn't count.
Why not?
I've got Valcour Island on my list to do. It's happened
There you
in 1776. It's an awesome
Yeah.
one. I've played it before.
Something's going to happen. I'm also going to I'm sending a bunch of shit to Noble Knight. So it's got to happen. I need 500 games, man. I got to get rid of some stuff.
So easy. Not gonna get any money for it, but it's so easy.
Oh, God,
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure you could trade for flying colors. Or
I don't wanna
I'll let
buy
you know. I'll
Flying
let you know
Colors.
about.
Can't we just play it on Vassal? I don't want to buy the game. I'm going to go play one scenario of it.
Yep.
How about this? I'll try this Master and Commander game. It might be real simple, and then we can play that.
What's it? The Master? Huh?
That White Dog Games game I just picked up. It's supposed to be pretty simple, and maybe we can play that.
I'm not buying Flying Colors. Agri.
I didn't fucking. I just offered an alternative.
Agri. He's still trying to sell me the price on Noble Knight. I don't want to. I remember I bought one of those expansions of that for some Muppet somewhere else, and I don't. You know what's going to suck though is I'll finally get to play it with somebody, and I'll find out I like naval.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want to do that.
It's gonna tickle your pickle, and you're gonna like it, but not want to like it.
Here's the preview for the next year's show, 2027. Hi, I'm Hexy, and I'm pretty much just going to play Age of Sail games, miniature and board games. That's my impression of Hexy.
So,
It's
hey,
gonna be
look, all right.
badass.
a double. There we go. And you live nearby too, Slav. Yeah, you know, Bob. I'm not those games, the Atlantic Chase, the Hunters, and all that. I played the I tell you what I want to try, and it's another. I'm not going to buy them, but those tank leader type games. Doesn't Berticelli have one, a system like that?
Yeah.
And,
Tank Duel. Tank Duel.
Yeah. And DBG, don't they have one, or is that the same one I'm talking?
Yep. Greg Smith stuff.
I would probably try one of those. So there you go. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, look, I'm stepping out on the edge of the diving board with freaking Flames of War, and
You're doing a great job, big dog. Hey, I might play GBACW this year. You never know, Jeffy.
GC or GB?
GB for dipshits.
You will.
That's what we got to talk to Nick about.
I ordered 2 copies so that Todd will have one out there,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll have the simple rules, and you guys
rules for simple people, baby.
You all will play it. So, yeah, I want to try one of them. I'd like to try one of those. And that JU-87 game from Lockman, I'll probably give that another whirl too. So, but there you go, guys. That was not bad. I mean, a lot of stuff got done in 2025. Looks like and you know how it goes with us. It's squirrel. So you know what falls down in 2026. I'm sure that it'd be cool because hopefully I can keep that list that I got here in my little office thing, and then which I should because it's on Google Drive now. And then at the end of the year, go back to my videos and see what I actually played compared to that list. Because I guarantee you that of the 12 items or 15 items are on that list, there will be 8 more in between it somewhere that were not on that list that have gotten touched. And I'm willing to bet you that all of us, that something slips in there, that at least a handful of things will slip in there because we're always coming up with some new idea or something off the wall that we see and it becomes interesting. So
100%.
Those of you all out there watching, any of you, before we shut this thing off, any of y'all have one specific game, and I'm going to ask this of everybody sitting here, one specific game that you guarantee right now you're going to play in 2026. And I think for 3 of us, that's an easy answer.
Yeah, I mean.
That's a no-brainer. I mean.
Todd,
Does-
Andrew, what do you say? Everybody else is done,
That's a good one, Nord.
Tidy and I are going to play Altar of Freedom. At least to figure out if we like it or not.
I do, Stone. I do.
I definitely want to get Napoleonic Battles back on the table.
No. You get. I'm going to guarantee. I want to hear it guaranteed. You guarantee us that you're going to play.
I guarantee us I'm gonna play that. No, I will play that.
Okay.
Todd, I was going to say, we're going to play it. We might not like it and never play it again, but we're going to try it at least once.
I'm saying the Library of Napoleonic Battles. I want that to get some more reps in.
That's a good system. That's a very good system. There you go, Ross. Make sure you go ahead and start buying all those too.
That'll come. That might be a 2027 venture into Napoleonics.
I will say that those games they're expensive, but we talk about this all the. I watch a streamer that I told y'all, Memoria, that she plays like old Sega or old what's her name, that Angelina Jolie played her
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, she plays like the old Tomb Raider stuff and stuff. And she was talking the other night about the new one that's going to be coming out. And they could run up to 125. She's like, "Who am I kidding? I'm going to buy it anyhow, right?" And I think a lot of us are probably the same way with some of the games. But there's always games out there that you pay a high dollar. Like we all know that there's one that I paid a high dollar for that just burns my freaking soul to no end. That to me just wasn't worth it. But then there's one out there you'll buy that you paid. You're thinking, I paid $150 for this game, man. God darn it! And then you find out it was worth $150 to pay for that game. So it's 50-50 one way or the other. It's either left side of the fence or right side of the fence. So, but yeah, the Library of Napoleon Battles, they're a little pricey, but those are very, very good systems, and you get a lot in those boxes. So. All right, well there you have it. That's what we did last year. That's where we're going this year. Check back in with us at the end of the year, and we'll tell you whether or not we accomplished all those things on the list. Which it would be nice if we did. And I hope everybody has a wonderful 2026 gaming year. And let us know. Get on, check all the channels out. You can catch McMurray on any one of our channels, and check out Ross and get over to Camp's channel and check those guys out and see what they're doing. You get a lot of good ACW and some other off the wall stuff with World War II and some of the. You're going to see. I got a feeling you're going to see. Did we settle anything for you two guys for ASL? We got anything you two are going to do?
We're working on it. We're cooking it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, just to make sure, I don't know if you're clear with this. So we didn't really bring it up. So Ross and I are actually going to meet with a few other people here in that super secret convention in April to play that GCACW game. So
Yeah, don't worry. I'm actually busy the entire month going and fucking myself. So that's perfect.
Just as we planned. So that'll be fun. Face-to-face Ross, I don't know, maybe we might even get a face-to-face ASL game if because I think he's going to try to do some GBACW there too. So
I will
Gettysburg
be
in October.
Yes, I'll be playing River of Death also. So it's Chickamauga on Chickamauga. So be perfect.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Hexy mentioned that again. We were talking. What's happening in
Gettysburg, October 19th. Rain date, October 21st. I know that myself, Ross, and Camp are going to be up there. We'll see who else is going to show up. We're just going to spend a day on the battlefield, and we're going to have a good old time, just maybe shooting crap. Anybody that wants to come up and spend that day with us, if you're going to do it, we'll make sure you can email me, and we'll tell you where we'll all meet up that day, and we'll just have a good old time. I got to get on with tour guide Phil. And David, guten Abend to you, my friend.
Ooh.
And we're going to kill this. Great. Good job. Appreciate all the input tonight. Appreciate all the input from the chat. Mark Herman and Joey Sabin. I'm reaching out to you guys. I've already reached out to you guys. You know what we want to do with you too. And I'll get with you guys on that. So talk to everybody later. Have a great year. Go roll some dice, as old Kev would say from Big Board. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
See ya.
Later, guys. See you.